The trade war drums have fallen silent, for now. President Trump and Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau reached a deal. The United States agreed to pause planned tariffs on Canadian goods. This came just days before the tariffs were set to hit. The 25% increase would have targeted a wide range of Canadian products. This pause is not a permanent solution. It's a 30-day ceasefire. Both sides hope to use this time to negotiate. They aim to find a more lasting resolution to their trade disputes. The clock is ticking. This agreement came after a tense phone call between the two leaders. The call followed weeks of escalating rhetoric. The potential for a full-blown trade war loomed large. The tariff pause brings a sigh of relief. Businesses on both sides of the border were bracing for impact. The tariffs would have disrupted supply chains. They also would have increased prices for consumers. The pause provides a window of opportunity to find common ground. The tariff reprieve didn't come for free. Canada agreed to a series of concessions. These concessions are designed to address some of Trump's key concerns. At the top of the list is border security. Canada pledged a whopping $1.3 billion to enhance border security measures. This money will fund a range of initiatives. These include new technology, more personnel, and improved infrastructure. The goal is to strengthen the border against illegal immigration and drug trafficking. Canada also agreed to appoint a fentanyl czar. This high-level official will coordinate efforts to combat the opioid crisis. Fentanyl trafficking from Canada has been a major point of contention for the Trump administration. In addition, Canada made promises to bolster its fight against organized crime. This includes listing certain cartels as terrorist organizations. It also involves increased cooperation with United States law enforcement agencies. These concessions represent a significant commitment from Canada. They demonstrate a willingness to address U.S. concerns. It remains to be seen whether these measures will be enough to satisfy the Trump administration. To understand the tariff threat, one must understand Trump's motivations. The president has long been vocal about his concerns over illegal immigration and drug trafficking. He views these issues as national security threats. He has repeatedly accused Canada and Mexico of not doing enough to stem the flow of drugs and undocumented migrants into the United States. Fentanyl in particular has been a major focus for the Trump administration. The potent opioid has ravaged communities across the United States. The administration blames Canada for being a transit route for fentanyl from China. Trump's tariff threats were a way to pressure Canada into taking action. He believes that tariffs are a powerful negotiating tool. He is known for his willingness to use them aggressively to achieve his policy goals. The tariffs were also meant to send a message to other trading partners. Trump is engaged in a number of trade disputes around the world. He wants to show that he is serious about protecting American interests. Section 4: Mexico joins the fray troops to the border. The trade tensions are not limited to the United States and Canada. Mexico has also found itself in the crosshairs of Trump's tariff threats. Just hours before the US-Canada tariff deal, Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum made a bold move. She announced the deployment of 10,000 troops to the US-Mexico border. This move was a direct response to Trump's threats to impose tariffs on Mexican goods. Trump argued that Mexico was not doing enough to stop the flow of Central American migrants heading towards the US border. The deployment of troops is a significant escalation of Mexico's border security efforts. It highlights the seriousness with which Mexico views the tariff threat. It also underscores the interconnectedness of trade and immigration issues in North America. Section 5: A wider trade war? Whispers of whiskey and global tensions. The US-Canada tariff dispute is just one front in a wider trade war. Trump has imposed tariffs on goods from China, the European Union, and other trading partners. These tariffs have disrupted global trade and raised prices for consumers. The Canadian provinces, in anticipation of the tariffs, even considered a retaliatory strike of their own. They threatened to remove American products such as alcohol from store shelves. This symbolic act of defiance illustrated the potential for the trade war to escalate and impact everyday consumer choices. The threat of a wider trade war has rattled global markets and created uncertainty for businesses. The interconnectedness of the global economy means that trade disputes rarely stay confined to two countries. The US-Canada tariff pause provides a glimmer of hope that cooler heads might prevail. Section 6: The uncertain future. a fragile peace on the northern border. The tariff pause is a positive step, but it is just the first step. The next 30 days will be crucial for US-Canada relations. Negotiators from both sides will have to work quickly to address the underlying trade issues. The success of the negotiations will depend on a number of factors. Will the United States be satisfied with Canada's concessions on border security? Will Canada be willing to make further concessions on trade? Can both sides find a way to address the issue of fentanyl trafficking without resorting to tariffs? The stakes are high. A trade war between the United States and Canada would be damaging for both economies. It would also strain the close relationship between the two countries. The world is watching to see if the tariff truce can be transformed into a lasting peace.